So today, Vo2Max, 4.5 minutes per set, 1 minute, 320 around that, or whatever 1 minute power will be today, and then 30-second surges, trying to accelerate the cadence so that I can get good 30-second power, and then I go back to 1 minute, easier, 320 as I said, and that I will do 3 times during 4.5 minute interval. And after that, short break, and I will do that 4 times. So 18 minutes of Vo2Max work today. Not a massive amount. And it shouldn't be also a massive amount of Vo2Max minutes. Why? Because I train hard also tomorrow and on Thursday, and I race on Sunday. So as you know, who has been following me and who follows e-racing, eSports cycling, you know that we are not in a training phase where we could just overload with specific sessions. Races will do that, but we do work hard enough in our training sessions so that we can get some performance gains. Now I'm just trying to see if my session is live. I can't see it. Just a second. Hey Milan! Yeah, always in London. I'll paste this one thing here so that everybody knows that I am checking the chat if I'm not all the time speaking something. But yeah, because it's flat. I'm here because it's flat and it's not crowded typically. Because also the draft, if for example when I'm in a few eco flats and if I am doing intervals, there is the draft element. If I start drafting someone, my power drops. I noticed it when I was doing my 40-second on, 20-second off intervals. when I was pushing my 40 seconds and there was a draft, suddenly my power dropped and I had to start changing gears. So London, this is a really great place for intervals. I also do pretty much Makuri Island. That is another place I like. And hey Milan, congratulations on your 4th place as a team. And if I remember correctly, you were 26th in the race. It was so hard. So really well done also individually. I shoot yesterday one online spinning class. So that was an easier day yesterday for me. My training sessions for this week is a bit different than it has been because yesterday it was semi-hard. It wasn't hard, it wasn't easy. So I sorry, just checking one thing from my phone. So once again, 4.5 minutes. We didn't change anything. We keep this same stuff. 5th week, couple of more weeks this, and let's see if I start changing something after, not probably next week, but the week after that. And hey, MyWhoosh championship dates are out, starting 7th of July. So there needs to be one proper rest week or rest time before that, so that I am fresh, giving more time for super compensation. I think it's like 5 weeks from here. Milan, what have you today? Have you got intervals also? Are you riding? I haven't been checking my companion app yet. Who is training and who is not? No, you are not yet training. If Aaron is here, have you, Aaron, already signed up for your first SRC? And yeah, Milana, if I'm not remembering incorrectly, you are also this week Evans, give me main qualifier number 1. Yes, you are also in the flat course. Something different. It's gonna be great. Starting 20. All right. Enjoy your long one. 3.5 hours on an indoor bike. That is like 5 hours, 5.5 hours outdoors. And especially if that would be like going up a climb, going down a climb where you can't pedal, then this 3.5 is more like 5.5. Yeah, but the perks of being an indoor rider is that you never have to stop because of traffic lights, downhills, whatever. You just keep pedaling. There is no rest for the legs. Milan, if you have 3.5 hours, you should go for London. What are those longer, like London Brecon half, London Brecon. I can't remember the names, but I think you know what I mean. Have you got already patch for the longer London courses? I stopped feeding the baby yesterday here in the World Championship Abu Dhabi MyWhoosh bottle. There is beta-alanine. Starting to take that now that I am not pregnant or feeding the baby. Also beetroot juice, the concentrate, beet it. That has been added to menu as well. So I'm starting to finally, after 1 year and nearly 10 months, something like 9 months, the body starts to be mine again. I don't need to worry what I put into my mouth. So cheers for beta-alanine and increased carnosine levels in the muscles. All right, Milan, that is one heck of a work you have done, having all the routes in Zwift, but you only have the full PRL, 5 to 6 hours, yeah, maybe one day. Hey Aaron, nice to have you here. Try it once, just to know. Do the PPT Power Passport test and try it for once. But yeah, you can also just enjoy watching and enjoy training. I'm sorry for pushing all the time. That is just because I enjoy the racing so much myself, and I am thinking that could bring really many happy things, memories, experiences for others also. Let's have a challenge guide. What is, please fill me in, Milan, what is that? Oh, let's have a challenge guide. Climbs. Not one climb, but climbs. All right. I really need to educate myself what that is. I haven't checked I hope you can fill me in. Warm-up goes always so much faster when I am doing these trainings with you. I really hope the main set is tolerable as well. But yes, the race on Sunday. Some of you watched it, and if you haven't checked it live or after the race, when it was convenient for you, you still can watch the May finals race. It's in the SRC folder under my channel. Tough course. I am glad we didn't race those flat parts fast also, so it was only, there was some rest, let's say it that way. We were the second team. I thought we were the third one, but we were second. It was really great. I was fifth, which was a good position, good result for me in this course. Second time up the climbs, I nearly got dropped. I don't know, like, what happened with my legs, with my physique. I just suddenly, I couldn't find the perfect balance with cadence and power, cadence and gear. I was running up the hill with a higher cadence, with too little power. But when I changed the gearing for a harder one, it was too much and I just couldn't move my legs fast enough and I was producing even less power. I didn't get dropped, which was great. And the last time we went up the tree climb combination, it was already way better. Yeah, this week it will be flat, only one climb, it will be aquarium. Will be ridden, of course, really hard. And I am expecting the race to be filled with searches. Ladies are trying to get away, tire each other, especially those who doesn't have the best sprint will of course want to tire sprinters out so that their legs are tired when we go to the final 1 kilometer to go. "90 seconds and first harder interval." Let's put some more fans on. Aaron, first of all, I'm really glad that you did the power passport test. That is the first step of getting yourself to racing SRC, but that is the minor of the two good things. The bigger importance is that you get some numbers for yourself, whatever the numbers are. You know where you stand, and you can start training. Knowledge is always good. We don't like knowledge if, for example, some test results doesn't match what we think of ourselves. That is me typically. But it's numbers, it's knowledge, and now you can train better, and you see the progress when you train. First warm-up interval coming up. Please, legs, be fresh and good. And Aaron, about the power passport test and the result, you also learn how to write those tests when you write those. So there's always some elements of like let's say knowledge, how fast to start. And for example, this 3 minutes, it's a killer, and of course it should be ridden as hard as one can. And after that, the 12 minutes, like how you pace it. And also, because there is this really hard 3 minute before the 12 minutes, as in a normal FTP test, where you ride 20 minutes as hard as you can, one should be riding, I don't remember, is it also like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, but really, really hard. Not probably all out, especially if it's 5 minutes, but so hard that we take away our anaerobic capacity that is contributing to our aerobic capacity. Meaning, if we just do a normal warm-up when we do our FTP test, we still have some more, some less in the anaerobic bank, which we can use in our 20-minute effort. And the FTP result is then bigger than it should be. That's why we also do the really hard section before the FTP test, normal, typical, usual, historical FTP test. So, for example, many get two good numbers from the 20-minute test. And for example, if that is compared with this power passport test, for example, the result FTP can be lower than one expected because of this. I am not saying this is the case with you. This is just my flow of thinking about tests. And for example, the difference between these two tests and why someone could be disappointed. But yeah. But yeah, don't be disappointed. It's just numbers. And if you were perfectly fueled, perfectly rested, in a perfect conditions, and if you think you didn't do that well and you're disappointed, then it's just sport. It's just one test. It's just the way things are now, and you can and you will improve from that when you train. And I am sure you are motivated to train and you will get better. I should do the test also to see where my FTP is currently. "20 seconds and 1 minute over 300. And of course, based on the power passport test, you are put in one category, and you are put in the category where you are competitive, which matters the most. In a wrong category, you are either too good or not that competitive, and it is really unmotivating. Ah. Another one. When I am doing my 4-minute Vo2Max, I have been doing them here up this climb. These curves, twists, bends are really familiar from those steady 4-5-minute efforts. Yeah, it is much harder than a ramp test. You are doing the hard parts of the test so many more minutes. You are doing like 15 minutes of really hard. 3 minutes first, all out, and then 12 minutes compared to a ramp test where you are probably like, let's say 6 minutes really like suffering. Yeah, it's totally different concept. You're welcome. I really hope that I can shed some trust, self-belief in you, and also like take some of the disappointment away. Yep. And as I said, if you have been only doing, for example, these stairs as your ramp, or like a ramp as a FTP test, this is so different that it really requires you to learn how to do the test. Next time you know much better, and if comes a third time, you master it already. One set of warm-up intervals, only 20 seconds, 2 times 20 seconds, over 400, keeping the pace nice. Then it's gonna be 6 minutes taking in one gel, getting ready for the first set, which is the hardest. I always suffer in this first set. Those 30-second accelerations, they feel so painful. And you know, even though you shouldn't be thinking about it, but you know that there is still 3 sets coming. But how do I comfort myself when I feel like I am doubting my head that it can tolerate the pain, or if I am doubting my legs, if they can perform? I only count the 30-second surges. I have 4 intervals, and in each interval set, I have 3 times surges. So there's only 12 surges. And when the first one is done, there is only 9 left. And then there is only 6 left of those surges, and then 3. And that is how I shed trust, or like not shed trust, but build trust in my pain tolerance, in my head that it just wants to push. All right. One more. Sorry, you were muted for a short while. I was speaking with my husband. I was actually talking about Aaron about the best way to increase FTP, and because I promised to let you know what the current research says about how to most effectively or really effectively increase the FTP, and the answer is like around the FTP, so that there is research that says like just a bit under it, like let's say 97-98% of your FTP, but also a really effective is over under, just as I mentioned last time. Also, let's say in its simplicity, 105% of your FTP, and also like 95% of your FTP, like over under. But maybe this research is now trending towards like training at threshold is more beneficial, maybe compared to this over under. Both are good. You cannot do anything wrong by doing either or both. But at threshold, like 100%, or just like 1 to 2 to 3% below it is probably better. But at threshold, or exactly at threshold, if you can hold that. I could chill in the airways. Oh. All right, 90 seconds to go for my first set. I'll get back to you, Aaron, after my first set about this. I have some more information for you, but I need to concentrate on this one first. All right, the normal stuff I always say to myself, 300 is enough, and whatever surge comes, it is enough. If the legs are tired, this will be a good workout. Whatever the power, it's only four times, it's only 4 interval sets, it's only 4.5 minutes per set. The first one is the worst. I can do this, 4.5 minutes. Then it's only 3 left. was good. It was hard, but really good interval. 3 to go. 13.5 minutes. 4.5 minutes searches. All right, let's continue. Yes, so Aaron, about FTP, increasing FTP. Take a range of 95% of your FTP to 100 or even 102 and do intervals there. For example, if you want to keep the interval length always fixed, let's say 5 minutes, 6 minutes, you can start from 95, do those like 4 to 6 times, whatever you can. Find where you stand currently, how many intervals you can do, and then you can start progressing the power. 95, 97, 99, 100, 102, keeping always the length, let's say 5 minutes, unchanged. So you take progression from the power, or you decide a power, what you target, and you start increasing first either the number of intervals or the time of one interval. There is always those things that you can play with where the progression comes. Power, interval length, number of intervals, and of course the fourth one is eligible in some interval types, is the recovery time. That is the fourth component. But I would touch, in this case, last to the rest interval length. I would first build up the time around FTP. The time around FTP and the power itself before touching the recovery intervals. Now that I am doing these intervals with a bit higher power, I noticed that I am lacking oxygen. Especially, I think it was the third minute, the final minute, where I was like struggling to get air. Working with higher power requires, of course, more oxygen. And now that my muscles can work harder, my oxygen intake is struggling. Let's see how the second one goes. 4.5 minutes means 1.5 songs. Three to go. Then it's only zone 2. Around 40 minutes with tired legs. Zone 2. Maybe I could take some lactates. Haven't been doing that for a while. All right. 3 to go. 1.5 songs. Three searches. $3.20 so that it comes easy. Target. All right, yeah, Milan indeed. When you, especially these shorter intervals, when it's 1 to 2 songs, for me, it is the most like meaningful length of interval when playing with songs. You know, struggle only this song and a bit of the the next one, and you are done. Of course, when I am doing like 10 to 15 minute sweet spot sub threshold sets, then it's like, let's say 5 songs, 4 to 5. Then when your power is a bit lower, you can really like maybe concentrate on the music and just let the time go. But yeah, Aaron, that could be, for example, a good starting point. Do 5 minutes at 95 and 5 minutes recovery. 1-on-1, or I don't know how it is said in English, but so that the relationship is 1-to-1. Is it that 1-to-1 with recovery? That is good, especially when you are starting to do those. The longer recovery, it gives you, of course, better recovery, and you can do the next 5 minutes, maybe 1 or 2 sets more of 5 minute intervals. And also it's really good as a mental wall to lean on, that I have the same amount of recovery. So that is good, really good starting point. And then only you know how many you can try doing. Is it like 3 or 6 or whatever? And if it's too easy, increase the number of minutes you are in the interval up to 7 or 8, for example. And that could actually be also the next thing you do in your intervals. If you do first 5, that is great first workout, and then increase the time to, for example, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes over the weeks. Next week 7 minutes, then maybe 8 or 9 at 95, keeping the number of intervals the same, so that there is a good progression. Yeah, 5 times 5, that's good. Yeah, true, Milan. Yep, indeed. Yeah. Hard intervals is mainly mind game. We probably never, except in races, but never in workouts, we ask ourselves to go all out, so that you are completely dead. Your maximum tests and races. So everything else is about the head, so that the head is in the game. And of course, okay, if you are super tired, if you have been working 1 week really hard, every day intervals, the power of course decreases. And you might not get to your typical powers. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that hard intervals, it's a mind game. The body can do, but the mind gives up. Meaning, songs matter a lot. Inspirational, motivational music. Mindset, mindfulness. If you want to do some mind like thinking before, I can do this, I want to do this, what is my motivation, what is my goal, so that we know why we work hard. All right, another one coming, halfway already. Give me some good music, please. 25 minutes. Pump it louder. Tiesto and Black Eyed Peas. Starting to get heavy. I'm really happy with the base power, around 320. And yeah, the surges, my target is 390. And I think now it's going there. I can't increase the cadence or start the power so much above 400 anymore in this third set. I think I need to take some energy. From the bottle and some candies. But all in all, it's really good. Yesterday I had a semi-training day. Not easy, not recovery, but because it was this online workout for our triathlon club, it wasn't anything Vo2Max or threshold work. It was more in the zones of like zone 3. So I am more recovered from Sunday than typically. And I don't know what is the effect from the beetroot juice, for example, how much power it is giving me. There is a couple of subtracts stuff that is really like researched. Also that the research shows that there is effect on the performance. One is of course caffeine. One is beetroot juice concentrate. And sugar, that is the most known already. And of course hydration. If you are dehydrated, the performance drops. But yeah, and of course I'm taking also beta-alanine, increasing the carnosine levels. First time since September 24, nearly 2 years ago, I took the last time beta-alanine and beetroot juice concentrate. Those of you, if there is someone who doesn't know me, I have a nearly 1-year-old boy, baby boy at home, sleeping hopefully still. And because of him, I haven't been able to take, I can say any substrates. But yeah, many things have been away for really many months, some nearly 2 years. All right, 1 to go. Thank you, Browy. Go, go, go. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. It's just hurting so much. And if you are thinking, why don't I sport with high cadence, those 400 or 390 watts? 2 reasons. First, it would take so much oxygen that I would drive to wall when doing the minute and like at the other 30-second intervals. So I need to go to intervals as hard as I can, keeping in mind that there is still intervals to come in the same set, especially in the same set and in the sets to come. And the other thing is that first thing I would be so out of breath that I couldn't do high enough power rest of the time. And also, when I am tired, I can't do high cadence with high power. I do low cadence and high power. Okay, when I'm sprinting for the finish line, then of course it's at least first I start with high cadence, and when the second stick pass, if there's for example 1 minute dance to the line, I might do first running high cadence, and after that put more power, lower cadence. That is my specialty. Low cadence, high power. When I start to fade. All right, last one. So when you see me changing to lower cadence, you know I'm tired. And I cannot keep up the high cadence. Four and a half minutes. 90 seconds of searches. Thanks, Milan. Oh. Oxygen deprived. Of course, muscles are tired, but now, for the first time in I don't know how many weeks, it is the oxygen that it's not a limiter, but it is tight. It was tight. I was so starting to be oxygen hungry during the last minute here in this last interval. You probably noticed my power only 310, 315. I was trying to find a good balance between, first of all, power and cadence, and of course the gear. And at the same time, when I was struggling to find a good rhythm, a good rhythm that I can hold up, and a good gear for that, I was searching for that, couldn't find, and at the same time I was oxygen deprived. I was gasping for air, trying to cool down my breath, lower it down as much as I could to be ready for the last 30 seconds. Even though it feels like the oxygen intake is the limiter, I think it was my husband who once said me, the oxygen limiter is not the limit. I don't know, maybe it's so, but it feels like that. If it seems that you cannot get enough air. Hey Laura. Yeah, Milan, you are correct. Nothing replaces having a child. That is true. And I have only been talking about our baby. We also have 6.5-year-old son Eliel going to preschool next August. But yeah, kids are small, so little time. They are babies, only 1 year, and I could, for example, have stopped breastfeeding whenever during this year. I could have chosen not to feed my baby and take all the supplements for nearly 1 year already. But my values were different. But now I'm happy athlete taking all the legal stuff. Yeah, your sprint is still 75. Yeah, I actually, Milan, I don't know what my sprint cadence is. That is something I haven't even checked, but yeah, maybe, yeah, it's not probably much higher. It feels pretty high, but probably it's not. But yeah, because I have this Neo bike. If you see me sprinting, going all out, you can actually see me doing this kind of stuff. I'm so much pressing the feet against the pedals and helping with my upper body and core when I am really tired. When the legs stand still, like bam, 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 they start to slow down. and I start taking more power from my upper body to keep the power high. This you can't do, but with Neo bike, because this is maybe with this Wahoo kicker. I don't know how much it moves, but with the bike, if you start doing that, you know, your front wheel starts moving or something. And this will be my problem if I manage to get away to World Championships for the 3rd time in November, because there I can't have Neo bike. I have to go with the ordinary bike, and I will lose my power. Happened already this year. But I don't care. I want to be really good, and I am most powerful, most competitive with this bike week after week, and I make the most money with this bike. Everything is good with this bike. And then World Championships, it's what comes. I go and enjoy the venue, seeing the girls, seeing MyWhoosh stuff behind the scenes, enjoy Abu Dhabi. And the result is not my optimal. I don't care. Or I would care if I would have this bike, of course, but I can't do nothing about it, so I don't care. Before we, yes, Erin, yeah, it's freaky, yeah, Laura, I know, yeah. There are a couple of things one can do. The first one, Laura said that she has also found that that sometimes you just can't get enough air in, and the feeling is really freaky. It's freaky and it's maybe even scary, especially when you're training, because you can think. When you race, you don't think how you feel, like, oh, I'm drowning, you just race. But yeah, during training, when you have these nasty feelings, but yeah, a couple of things that can make it happen or can make it go away. The first thing is to making it happen is that you think about it. You start noticing like, hey, I can't get enough air, or you concentrate somehow on your breathing so that your breathing becomes inefficient. You, for example, okay, I calm my breathing down like, and the result is you cannot get enough air when you should be like taking in as much air as you can. And the other thing is, actually what makes the feeling that, hey, I am not getting enough air, is that you are trying to take in as much air. But the feeling that makes you feel like you're drowning, it's actually carbon oxidized. How you say that in English? Anyways, you need to breathe out. Get the carb thing out of your lungs. Carbon oxidized. Carbon, yeah, whatever. I think you know what I mean. So when you're really out of breath, you shouldn't be like taking as much oxygen in. You should be getting all the bad stuff away from your lungs so that it makes room for oxygen, and also that carboting is what makes you actually feel like you're out of breath. If you have an asthma attack, it is just that you need to breathe out. In asthma attacks, you are like trying to get in air, but it should be the other way around. And that is also when training really hard. So while you concentrate more in it, so you notice it, and you start panicking it because you notice it. The other is you start to changing your breathing rhythm. You think you change it to better, but actually you change it to worse because it's not automatic. Or when you think like, I am not getting enough air, you start gasping for air when you should be concentrating on a longer outhale, exhale, longer exhale. And what comes to practice, if oxygen starts to be the limiter, that you feel like you cannot get enough air, Vo2Max work. For example, really good 40-20s, 40-second hard, 20 easy, or 4 to 5 minutes, like I did today, hard, so that your breathing really accelerates and your Vo2Max, your maximum oxygen intake, comes to limit or comes as close to limit as possible. Vo2Max work, you start reaching Vo2Max when you have been working for 3 minutes, or if you take breaks, for example 40-20s, or like I do on Thursdays typically, 2 minutes hard, 1 easy. Okay, that is probably not that good of a Vo2Max work. But anyways, if you do 40-20s, you need to do, for example, 10 times, at least 7 times 40-20, because you have the 20-second rest, so that the oxygen consumption goes up, 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 and reaches the limit, and hopefully stays there for a while. Roy, how can you stand so long? All right, Roy. Yeah, little history first. I'm triathlete, and I have been doing everything sitting until 3 years ago. 3 years ago, beginning of May, we had MyWhoosh championships, and we lent from a friend this Tax Neo bike. Not this version, but another version, but a Tax Neo bike. And I don't remember, was my handlebar already that high then? Or did we mimic my triathlon bike geometry? But still, during the first championships in the long climbs, I started standing, and because I had a Neo bike and it is so stable that I can lean on it like a wall, it already in the first races I ever made showed me that I can produce more power. And from that on, 3 years, I have been training and racing standing. This is easier, zone 2, I'm down. If you want me to go to zone 3, I stand up. Already then, 250 watts, 60 watts and above, I stand. So, I have been standing my races and many training sessions for 3 years. I don't know, would I have done it if it hadn't been for the Neo bike? Because it's, of course, many are riding indoors, standing with their normal road bike. They just train for it. And it is possible, of course. So maybe I would have done that also. But yeah, Neo bike, this is firm. My handlebar is really high. You can't actually see it. I think it is below the screen, but it's really high. So, I stand a lot. If we have 1 hour team time trial, or individual time trial, as we had in MyWhoosh championship last August. I stand all the time, and during the race, if it's a hard race, TTT, I go down only a couple of times, and then I stand back up because I can, you know, just here 330 with really easy. If I'm there drafting, say to me, hold this power sitting. Of course I can't do it because I haven't been doing it, but yeah, here with this kind of power, my whole body weight goes on the pedals, which gives me more power with less cost compared to if I would be sitting and doing this with my legs only. Now all this upper body is giving me power for free. So yeah, it's really beneficial to stand. And how to train for that? I would say, as everything, start with take a climb from Zwift and ride it up standing. Sit down when you have to. Sit for 1 minute, more if you have to. Stand up again. Do that couple of weeks, and you notice you're standing, then climb up all the way. Yeah. When you are on a normal bike, when you're here up, the bike is moving underneath you. It's bouncing. You need more stabilizing muscle. You need more muscle to keep you in this position because the bike is moving. And that's why it's really hard for you to first start doing that. It's so different movement. You are not used to that. We are good at what we have been doing. The transition in a neo bike and maybe kicker bike is smaller because it's not as flexible underneath you as ordinary bike. So yeah, you just start training. And I think it will come pretty quickly when you start doing that systematically. Oh, carbon dioxide. Thank you, Laura. Sorry, I just read it. Yeah, carbon dioxide. That is the thing that is concentrating in our lungs if you don't breathe it out. And in the bloodstream, of course. So we need to get it out through the lungs. Outdoor goals? No. I don't do outdoor racing, unfortunately. Couple of reasons. The first one is maybe obvious after my last speech about how I race, standing, and the perks of a neo bike and how I am used to riding with this stationary bike that doesn't move at all. So I can't quickly change my power into outdoor racing and to a different kind of setup. So yeah, I wouldn't be as good as I am here inside. And I don't want to do the transformation from indoor racer to outdoor. Outdoor season in Finland, I have never been, for example, road racing in Finland. Only a couple of races. Juha, 2020, I fell really badly. It was nationals, road race nationals in Pikkusyöte, and I don't know how many broken rib bones I had, I tore my what is the collarbone? It was totally shattered in the pieces. Concussion. It was pretty bad. Fell from a really high speed situation, and it's more dangerous. I have 2 kids I have to think about, and yeah, I wouldn't be that competitive in it. And if I would start trying to get my power from here to road, I would miss my potential indoors. I wouldn't be all the time more competitive indoors because I would be changing to an outdoor rider, and I wouldn't be as good in eSports cycling. I'm also trying to do a bit of cash here, prize money. I would lose also the prizes, the prize money. I think this month, I don't know, was it $5, $6, $7,000? I haven't been keeping a track of my prize money for May, but it's thousands of dollars. So that kind of prize money you can't get, for example, outdoors in Finland. Yeah. And triathlon, I haven't been running or swimming for a long time. So that is something I will save for the days after my professional career is over, when I do a sport just for fun. If my knees can take it. It might be that I never run a marathon again. Let's see. Hopefully, probably I answered your question good enough with saying that just start doing that. Just start training like that. One step at a time. One interval at a time. Just as I tried to help out Aaron how to train, how to increase FTP, the similar is for standing. Intervals, standing, and maybe I said that go and find a climb in Zwift, because that is something we typically do outdoors. We go for climbs and we stand up in the climbs, and it's kind of natural. Of course you can stand in Zwift if it's flat or downhill also, because there isn't no wind or anything that would lower us down as in the ropes. More questions or comments? I still have 31 minutes. If there is anything you would like me to say to you or tell or try to advise or whatever. All right, and Milan, you said go to settings then to hood, interval hood. What is hood? What is HUD? Go to settings then to HUD. Might put back my, yes, yes, Milan. I highly suggest you try getting a higher handlebar for yourself, because one demonstration, it might be that you can't see the difference through a video, but when you are higher here, you can like use more your also glutes, hamstrings. You can also like rest a bit like standing, compared if you are here all the time. You are much more resting on your like thigh muscles when you're here lower. When you're here, it's like you can be here a bit more front, like more like pressing the power even like down and backwards, or here upper, pressing more down with all your weight. So you can rest here while producing power, and then again going harder, leaning more forward, for example, compared to lower handlebar. But as I have to say, from my competition, some are also racing with new bike or kicker bike, but most are racing with the road bike. The best in the world are racing with road bikes. I don't know if they would try, for example, 1 month my bike, what would they think after that? Would they go back to road bike, or be like, yes, this is really good when you have this stone underneath you that is not moving at all? Or do they find it useful that the bike is moving? Because, for example, when you accelerate, you can move the bike when you accelerate your cadence and you sprint for the finish line. You can get more from the moving bike, because when I am accelerating, I am hitting the wall, I'm hitting the rock, which isn't giving me any kind of movement to support my movement. So, for example, my reaction time to sprint is low compared to my competition. That can also be training, because I haven't been training like go hard from the gunshot, for example, like go hard from the gunshot, accelerate really hard, like really fast. So maybe I could do, or I would of course be doing better runs for the line if I would react faster. But yeah, it's because this is so stiff, this is like a rock. Before I get the wheel here moving, I need a bit of time. But when it moves, it really moves. And I can use the stiffness of the bike to my advantage. So there are sides, I think, in both bike types. But yeah, this was a comment on Milan's comment about raising his handlebar so that he could lean on it maybe a bit better, because it's higher. It can feel a bit weird at first, but give it time, a couple of weeks, if it would help. Hey Samuel, hello. Nice to have you here. Where are you from? What do you do? Are you racing in MyWhoosh? Racing or training in Zwift? Heads up display. I'll go to 3 times 15 minutes sweet spot. Great, Laura. That is really good workout. Chest Harris has front wheel out. Yes, Milan. Yes. This was actually something we asked if I could also do in World Championships. We have this travel trainer which has this front wheel holder, 3-spot or 4-spot holder, where the front wheel would be more stable and it would be in a higher position. But they didn't allow me to take that. It would have helped a lot in the World Championships in Abu Dhabi. So yep, that is really good. If you have something similar, you could try that. And many, I think, for example, Capiquera, she, of course, that she has at least with her trainer really like heavy sandbags, but she might also have beside her front wheel. And many ladies are doing so that there is something heavy around the front wheel so that it's not moving when you are accelerating and gripping the handlebar hard and tearing it. Samuel, more open hip angle as well, indeed, Milan, yes. All right, Samuel, this is nice. Hey to Australia. I think it's pretty late already. What's the time in Australia? In New Zealand, I think it's like we have 12:30 p.m. so nearly 1 o'clock in the day. Have you got something like in New Zealand? I think it's 11:30. In Australia, 10:30, maybe. But hey, I'm glad you are here. Maybe you could be inspired to do some biking, or then you're just interested in sports somehow. Yeah, and you said hood. Isco, all right, so it's only 7. Okay, yeah. Yep. Yeah. I will do that, Milan. Changed my settings so that I get the lap power in there. I have been talking so much that I have to say I don't remember. Was I supposed to do heat? Was I supposed to go to sauna for passive heat after this? Maybe. No, I wasn't supposed to do active heat. I was supposed to do well enough zone 2 power. Laura, if you are still here, what have you been doing lately? You said that you will do the sweet spot. What day did you say you're gonna do that? Was it tomorrow? Yes. So did you do some intervals, Laura, last week? Or was it endurance week? How did you spend your training days? And Milan, what else have you this week other than endurance today? Tomorrow it's Wednesday, Thursday. I think last week Thursday you had 8 times 4 minutes Vo2Max with 90-second rest. Hats off for that. I think it was Thursday if I remember correctly. And on Friday you had a longer day. So Milan, what have you got for this week? You haven't heard anything about it, the heat. Me saying or someone saying? Harder tomorrow, but next week. All right. Last week was easy. 1 long ride, 1 speed. Yes, sounds really good. 1 long ride, 1 speed, and you are gonna do tomorrow another sweet spot set. Yeah. Yes. And Laura, if last week was easy, you will have tomorrow's sweet spot. It's Wednesday. Are you doing some other harder interval session also this week? Or weights, weightlifting and these endurance rides? Yeah, Milan, I think I haven't. I just thought about the heat. Yeah, I haven't mentioned it because I haven't been thinking about it at all. First, I was so intimidated. Is it said like that? Well, anxious, worried about my intervals. Then the first part of the training set, I was just afraid of what the intervals will be, how hard they will be, and then I concentrated on the intervals, and now I have been just talking and trying to think what do I answer. So yes, heat hasn't crossed my mind after this morning. Today it's Tuesday. Did I say today's Wednesday? I think I might have been saying to you that today is Wednesday already. It's Tuesday, correct? Immediately when you have something different in your schedule, for example, I did have yesterday a really weird training day. I am completely messed with the weekdays. I am living on Wednesday already, and it's Tuesday. And I know you notice it also when you train, and especially if you have harder training sets, that you are probably not as sharp as you are before and after. I hope I am not the only one with the race brain, training brain, when you're just so focused on the stuff right here that you just forget everything else. Yeah. Repeating a workout is good, Laura. You're stressing your system in the same way repeatedly during the week, like for example 2 times sweet spot. That is really good. Sweet spot block, sweet spot training, Vo2Max block, Vo2Max training a couple of times during the week, threshold training a couple of times during the week. Yeah, Milan. Yeah. Oh, yes. Well, it might be that I was like 15 minutes. Milan asks, why do I have 17-minute intervals? I might have been like, yeah, 15 minutes, too little. 20 minutes, harder zone 2 after Vo2Max. Sounds too much. And actually I was, when I planned this workout, I was thinking of riding this, not with 190. My FTP is lower, too low in Zwift compared to what I have in Training Peaks, where I plan my training. And also compared to MyWhoosh, I think my FTP is 290 around in Zwift, or even 285 when it should be over 300. So I should be doing this with 210, for example, or 220. So Milan, I was thinking probably like 20 minutes too much. I don't have the strength, the mental power to tolerate 20 minutes 2 times. This is not hard, but it's nasty, let's say that. And 15 minutes, too little. Let's take 17 minutes. So there is no science behind this decision. Yep. Yeah, I was actually, when I planned my this week's training, I did look at this 17 minutes, and I already thought I could change it into 20 minutes. But then I was like, all right, well, I'll just ride 3 minutes longer if I wish to do 20 minutes. But I forgot in my first interval, but I might do it now in the second one. And I did actually also accelerate. I am thinking, should I take lactates? But if I take lactates, I need to have around 210, 215 average for at least 10 minutes. So that if there is some lactate buildup, it starts to find the, do you say it's saturation point, so that it is at its maximum for that power, so that we really see what is the lactate with, for example, 210 to 15 minutes. Good reason, Laura, for riding longer ones. You like exploring new places. Yeah, if you can ride for 5 hours, that is really good. Not everyone can do those. You should enjoy those, because maybe there will be a time you get used to those and you want to switch, and then you can just, like, you know, cut the time, increase the power, for example. Winter is coming, and if you don't wish to explore all the places in Zwift and MyWhoosh, you get used to the scenery soon. All right, for Milan, 3 more minutes, and then I take lactates. Yeah, I know, Milan, it's yeah. Sometimes this can also be that you want some round number for the finish time or something, but yeah, if I remember correctly, this was just recent, as I told you. Yes, correct, that is indeed true. Yep, the HR is higher because of the Vo2Max workout. I am also talking constantly, which makes my heart rate be higher, because when you ride and talk, you get more out of breath. It might actually, I don't know, can it affect the lactate concentration or build up also? I don't know. Just a second, I'll shout my husband. I shouted for the husband if he would come. Takun on täällä ne kaikki. If he would come and take the lactate sandwiches. Had a quick discussion if we would, if this my talking, because it increases, of course, the heart rate when I talk and not concentrate constantly on taking air efficiently in, if it would also affect the lactates. It can affect it, but we'll take lactates anyway, and I can take as a control lactates another time also when I am not live streaming and chatting all the time.
Yeah. Saat itse pistää autoon siihen kanssa.
Lainanko heti? Oletko valmis?
Joo.
Haven't seen him in my category the last race. Is your husband? Saanko mä kertoa? Yeah, Milan, he has had health issues. Ei tuu kunnolla.
Joo, ihan on se riittää pystyt pois.
Just a second, Milan. Ei tästä kun ei se tuu. Sulla oli ihan väärä toi. Toi on väärä, toi on aina keltainen. Yeah, Milan, he has had some health issues, and he has been away. He was, I think it was it to the last race in April you were, or something like that? It wasn't the final, but it was the last qualifier. Yeah, I think it was the last qualifier in April. He was there still racing. He did also back then he raced first and then he took it to like zone 2. Yeah, and he has had issues after that. Nothing is coming. There isn't any blood coming from my. It has been so much time already on my finger that there's all this shit and build up. Let's take another one. I think nyt siellä on tuossa enemmän, niin otetaan toinen vielä. Sä voit, jos sä saat mulle sen tikun siihen, niin mä voin ottaa sen. So hopefully he will get back to racing. Onko sulla siellä? Mä en ole ihan varma mun ajasta. Paljon mulla on tässä. Mä olen sen verran hiljaa jo ajan. Hopefully he will get back to racing during June. And in August, like more competitive. Let's hope that. Shit, this is a wrong finger. Mikä se numero oli?
1,7.
Joo, liikaa. Se on ollut 1,1 aiemmin. Siksi mä haluan uuden myös sen takia.
Tosi vaikea, että sulla on ton tyyppinen harjoitus ja pohjalla.
Joo.
Sitä ei tiedä niin.
All right. So, yeah. Mutta se oli silloin viimeksi, kun me tämmöisen jälkeen tehtiin. Se on tietysti matalampi. Mutta on hyvä, että otettiin. Yeah, the lactate is 1.7. It's a bit too high for my taste. With 200 and it was around 11. There, like around 10 minutes. So yes, I will take another set of lactates. When I don't speak, I do a hard interval set, and I don't speak, and I check it again, because it was 1.1 the last time I did this check. It's a couple of months ago. I think it was in March. So, but yeah, if it's 1.7 with this power, I know I have to be doing more zone 2 work. if the base is starting to squeeze down, because I do so much hard intervals. And when I don't do hard intervals, I ride with really like a low power, not higher zone 2 power, but like zone 1, zone 2, there in the middle of those ranges. So yeah, let's see, 1.7, it's let's see, I'll check that later. But yeah, it was good that we figured out what's the level currently. And my workout also stopped already. And Milan, I hope you, sorry for Finnish English communication with the husband, but yeah, hopefully he will get back soon. Yeah. Let's see if there is yes, Milan, good advice for pro. Do when you're starting the first times, do FTP to start. Yes, that is it, and it's good explanation also why. And then you can do like longer sets. If you do go over FTP when you start, you can do like let's say 5 minutes standing or something like this. But if you do at FTP or a bit below, you can do, for example, 3 times 10 minutes, 3 times 15 minutes standing, 1 time 30 minutes. If you, for example, go up a climb or something like that, as I suggested that you could do, ride up a climb in Zwift, standing, or try to do that. Sit down when you have to and go up again. But yep, yes, Pro is on 4. Good. I think I contacted him for a teaming deal. Did you do that? Okay, yeah, he is with the Hitman. With the Graves. Fawcett. How do you call that? And the third is, I don't remember the third one. Graves, Ross, and someone, and Tatu typically now they have a 4th rider in place for Tatu. I really hope he will join Hitman again in July or in August. Yes, good recovery wishes. Great. Hey, thank you for the set today. I'll shortly, maybe I'll ride, I'm 78.3 kilometers. Maybe I'll do 80 kilometers and then jump off. Tomorrow, I will have really short but hard intervals. Let's see if I put the video on tomorrow also. If I do, I really hope you join me for my tomorrow's workout set. And but if not, I hope I'll catch you later this week. Have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.